Okay.
All right,
First subject,
what do you guys want to start with?
politics.
Politics? Okay.
They all suck. They're all out to cheat us. They're like insurance salesmen. They take our money and give us nothing.
So you think the system's rigged?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look at what's going on right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The media has already picked who's going to be president.
Right.
And who's going to be the two finalists.
They pick it way ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you advise a 20-year-old, your 20-year-old self to do with politics? Just ignore it or be active, try to change it?
You could try and change it. You'd probably become part of it, but that's all right. At least you'll be part of the change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get involved and at least vote.
Yeah,
you got to vote.
Yeah, you have to vote.
You're gonna vote.
Yeah.
Don't just ignore it.
Right.
Don't get discouraged by what you can't change, but do something about what you feel passionate about.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Yeah.
And don't worry about voting across the party either. I mean, whichever one is better.
Right.
yeah.
Is, independent. I've always been independent.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I think we need some common sense too. Everything's too far to the left or to the right, and there's no discussion. There's no communication anymore.
It's not like it was when we were kids. When we were kids, they'd at least work something and get something done.
Not enough respect for each other either. I mean, they're all wanting to be leaders. So they deserve respect from the media and from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Okay.
Next subject.
Next subject. Let's talk about education and career, like what you do with your life.
Education. After high school, do something for a year or two, then go to college.
Yeah.
I went in the service, did wonders for me. It wasn't my idea, but
Yeah.
I did go, and by the time I got out, I knew what I did and what I didn't want to do.
Right.
Right.
I think I would have done something crazy like travel cross country on a motorcycle or a car,
That's
hitchhike,
something.
or take the Appalachian Trail for
such
a
a good education.
Doing that is a great education. Yeah.
And you get some perspective on life, and how college is really, to me, a privilege to be able to go and not waste it, not just blow through it,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to travel for a couple of years after high school. My parents said, "Oh no, you'll have plenty of time to travel. Go to college first."
And
And it wasn't until I was 55 that I went to Europe.
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, at 55, at least you have some money.
Well,
So
that's
you can travel a little different style.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're 20, you don't care. You'll take
You
a
don't- you
backpack
can-
and you'll
yeah,
sleep
you
in a
can sleep
hostel
in
for
it.
$10 a
Exactly.
night.
Exactly.
You don't need a 5-star hotel.
Yeah. I would say, too, if you're not sure what you want to do, think about a trade or something. Work with your hands. Those jobs are hard to outsource, and you can always get a job somewhere,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go to college and just don't know what they want to do, which is normal. But if after a couple of years you're really not sure, I think, you can... I mean, it took me probably 15, 20 years of my life to get my income to a point where I was making more than I could have as a blue-collar tradesman or something like that. It was a long time,
When I was a kid, blue-collar people were looked down upon.
Yeah, that's why
Trade school was where you went if you were stupid.
Right, if you couldn't make it through regular
And
high
those
school.
guys, like you say, you can't have plumbers from China.
Right.
The plumber's got to be a local guy. The electrician's
Yeah.
got to be a local guy.
Yeah.
There's no shame in being a craftsman at all.
Right.
No.
But them and the government workers, I mean, everyone that I know that's either fire department, police department, working for the government, they're retired at 55.
Right.
Yeah.
They had a part-time job while they were doing it.
Right. And now if they get called back, as a consultant, they get like 3 times their salaries for, for a few weeks of work. But
Yeah.
working for yourself, being self-employed, I mean, it has its strong points,
So
but
you
it
guys
also
did
has...
both. Yeah, you guys both did that.
Yeah.
Right.
All three of us.
Yeah.
The highs are higher, the lows are lower
Yeah.
Okay.
when you're self-employed.
That's true.
Okay.
When somebody comes in and you make a lot of money, that's great. But when shit falls apart, it falls right on your lap.
Yeah.
And that's the deal with being self-employed.
Yeah. I mean, you can take the time and travel and do everything you want, but you're not making any money.
You're never not making any money, and you never stop working. You're working 24/7. Even on the weekends when you got it off, you're still thinking about it.
Okay. You were going to say something, Steve?
It's being self-employed or being in the trades is it's empowering. You're learning how to do stuff that will work for you as a homeowner later on.
Right.
Even if you don't know how to do the exact job, you know how it's supposed to be done. And a lot of especially guys just not cut out for book learning and white collar work.
Right.
They need to work with their hands to be emotionally and spiritually fulfilled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good. All right. Okay. How about how about the juicy stuff? Sex, marriage.
Let's get right to it.
You know,
Don't get married.
What do you, well, if you were 20 years old, knowing what you know now, what would you do? I mean,
I wouldn't get married. I wouldn't get married at 20.
yeah,
No.
Nothing wrong with getting married, but shop around.
yeah.
And
That's
as
what
far
I'd
as
say.
sex goes, get as much as you can, as young as you can.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it. When you get older, you'll be glad you're still using it.
Yeah. I think when you're young, you just feel like I gotta settle down, or seems to be somewhat of a clock ticking already. I thought in my life, and I realize now the 20s should have been just having as much sex as possible, doing what you wanted to do, meeting a lot of people, and figuring out what you want. You know,
Right.
because you see a lot of people just get stuck in relationships that are okay and kind of working, but not really fulfilling for them. You know, and
Not happy.
not happy. You know.
Get somebody you're happy with. Get somebody you enjoy spending time with. That's the most important
Right.
thing. Especially when you get older.
Yeah.
Companionship becomes more important than sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
you
that's true.
enjoys meeting and seeing when you get home from work, and there's nothing worse than coming home to a grumpy person.
Right. Yeah.
But you gotta have, you have some things in common, but you gotta have to have your own time too. You gotta be able to do,
Right.
Yeah.
like this. There's no way Barb would, I'd want her to go on a camping trip with us like this, and
Right. Right.
there's certain things you can do by yourself, and having somebody who's okay with that. When I take off for 2 weeks,
Right.
she's good with it.
Yeah, I think having someone that supports it is real helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you're right.
They have to have their own interests.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it.
In order-
you
in order
can't
to-
be their sole focus in life.
Exactly.
Or they
yeah.
can't be your sole focus in life. Otherwise,
right.
Right.
That's a big
Otherwise,
red
forget
flag.
it.
They have to be
Yeah.
the major one, but not
Yeah.
the sole one.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And you're not going to change anybody either. If you
That's
if,
a
that's-
very
oh,
good
that's
point.
good, yeah.
if you meet them and,
Right.
and you,
Yeah,
think,
right.
you think,
You-
okay, well, maybe they'll change. Nope, not gonna. 16 years later, nope, not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I'm not a neatnik, but I met my wife and I went to her apartment and it was just dishes everywhere in the kitchen. It was just a friggin' mess, and I thought, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to put up with this. And actually, she's gotten better over the years, and I'm sure the stuff that she's gotten pulled me over to doing too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
get somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
Compromise.
exactly.
Yeah. I found that the little things that bothered me at the time, oh, that's cute. I'm so into this person, I don't care. But in a long-term sense, it never
Three-
goes
3 months
away,
later.
and it just builds and builds, and it just
Yeah,
gets,
no, it
yeah.
does.
Become your focus.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a stone in your shoe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. I think you got to hold out too for the right person that you just are crazy about.
Right.
Like it's worth doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What else?
Did we leave
Motorcycles?
Motorcycles. Yeah.
That's easy. We go.
Whatever. Find your
Get-
passion in
get
life.
one and ride
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motorcycles for us.
Start with a small one, ride it till you need a
Yeah,
bigger one,
yeah.
and
Yep.
keep going.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And don't ever
Like-
sell them.
Yeah.
Just keep them.
You really want to pass that along?
Oh, yeah.
keep making your shed bigger.
Yeah.
right.
That's
Yeah,
it.
get a bigger shed.
Yeah. You need at least two.
Yeah, I'd rather give it to somebody
you
who
have
would
to have-
really like it than just sell it to somebody who
You have
Right.
to have
iffy
two,
about
Yeah.
it.
minimum two.
You need more than one. You
Yeah.
need a BUB, backup bike.
There you go.
Just one's not running.
Right. Yeah.
That may become my
Your mantra.
situation if I can't
Yeah.
sell a V-Strom.
Oh, yeah,
You
right.
know?
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the worst thing to happen.
No.
You know,
it's
when
not.
you get to a point where you're not going to get much money for it,
Yeah.
why sell it when you
Yeah.
could actually use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I ended up on the pile I got.
They seem to be a happy man for it.
Yeah, I'm not upset with it. No. I smirk every time I look at them all,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though they're not running.
Right.
I've run out of room.
Yeah.
I can fit
Right.
a 250 in there, or the DRZ. I can fit that in the shed somehow.
I think what you need is a ramp going up to the back of your Cadillac.
There you
Put it
go.
right in the back seat.
Put it in the trunk.
Yeah, in the trunk. I bet it would fit in the trunk. You get the bodies out of there?
No,
Those are great for
there's
bodies.
6 bodies in the back in the trunk.
All right. Thanks.
Money.
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 Oh,
Forget about money.
money. Yeah,
Money.
money. Yeah.
Don't make it the center of your life, but don't ignore it either.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't ignore
Don't-
what your parents tell you.
Yeah.
Listen to your
that's
parents.
This
right.
is
Yeah.
a hard one,
They
yeah.
have that
My
lived
father said,
experience.
every penny you make, put 10% somewhere.
That's
Yeah,
actually
a
a good
that's
So
idea.
if you,
that's
even,
really
if you make
good.
$100 if you make
It's
$100,
wicked hard to do.
if you make
Right.
$100, just put 10%. Don't even look at it.
Yeah.
If you make 100,000, put 10%.
Boy, if you
Just,
could do that,
and,
Yeah.
you know, if
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
done that when I first
start
was
start
first
at
out of
20.
college,
By the time you're 60, you're a millionaire.
right? That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
it's only 10%. It's not that, don't even look at it. Even
And
if
don't cash out your 401k if you leave a job.
Yeah, oh,
you know,
yeah,
just
that's a
leave
fact.
it,
Sure,
leave it in
right,
there.
right,
You know,
right.
yeah. Just keep building. By the time you get to be 50, 60, you're going to be good. You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
don't buy it unless you can afford it.
That's
Or
what
pay-
we were
pay
talking
for it.
about
Oh
earlier
yeah,
today.
no.
The
Credit
big
card,
credit
is,
thing.
you know, a credit card is a kind of an evil necessity. You just decide. I mean, I pay mine off every month. It's just not even. It's the first thing I pay off too.
Yeah. It's crazy to just be supporting banks who basically, that's what this country has become, is a churner of money. Nobody actually makes anything anymore. They lend you money, they make interest off of you, and they're doing it all. It makes a big cycle. And,
Right.
and it goes throughout the world economy too.
Right.
You're not really producing anything,
Right.
Right.
and except you're making
We're-
people who don't have a lot of money poorer, which in the long run is bad for everybody.
Yeah.
The
You only
more
need
poor
one.
people you got,
Yeah.
the worse off the country is.
You don't need one credit card, and keep
That's right.
and keep the credit limit low.
Yeah.
Right, right,
Yeah.
And then because you need, if you're gonna travel, you need it. If you're gonna rent a car, you need it.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
if you want to buy anything online,
Yeah.
you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
But if you keep the limit low, that way you're
And
forced to
pay it off. Pay it off before you have to pay interest on it.
Yeah, I think we all have known people who got in way over their head with credit cards and
Oh,
just
yeah.
became a prisoner to of their whole lives were a prisoner to the companies.
That's
you know,
exactly what
and
happens,
It
yeah.
ruined their lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
stay debt free if you can. I mean, there's good debt like student loans, to improve your career, but
You're going
a
to
lot
end
of
up with some, but minimize
Yeah.
it
yeah,
and
Yeah.
pay it off as soon as you can because you're just giving money away.
right. How about we didn't talk about this, partying, drugs, alcohol. I mean, we've all known people. This is the age
I
where
used
that's
to
really
party,
important.
but I don't anymore.
I'll tell you, my son had. I didn't know he had a problem with pot and alcohol, but he worked at a really high-end restaurant in Boston, and I graduated, worked that summer, and fortunately, he had enough good environment at home life to realize that he was doing himself harm, and that's why he went out to. That's the main reason he went out to the West Coast. He had to get out
Get
of
away
Boston.
from yeah. It's a
Okay.
trap.
And since he's been clean and straight, and
Yeah.
his personality is just like his old self. He used to
Yeah.
be impatient, and just he couldn't be patient. That's what the effect of having that problem is,
Yeah.
And so we're just so grateful that he's
The restaurant life is a tough life.
it's a tough life.
Yeah.
All those people sleep late, stay up late, party after the restaurant closes,
Yeah.
Right.
and it's a trap you fall into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I never did it or tried it.
Neither did I, but I see it happening.
Yeah, I don't know. It was hard, I think, because if you're the straight person in the room, it's a little bit you feel a
Yeah.
little bit self-conscious.
Yeah,
but at age 50 now, I don't have the
Don't care.
problems or issues that people have, and I mean, I think we've all seen people that their bodies just kind of break down from years of partying. You can't do it anymore.
Right, that's right. You look at especially. I went to a bar the other night that I used to hang around in.
Uh-huh.
All the same people are still sitting
yeah?
on the same stools, and they all look worn out. I
Yeah.
haven't been there in 10 years.
Yeah.
But I say, man, these
That's
guys
a
really
long
look.
time.
They, yeah,
That's what happens as your liver goes.
right. Something's going. Everything's going a little
when,
bit.
when your
Yeah.
liver goes, you look like you're 90.
Yeah. I think it goes back, get that passion in life, and you don't
Right.
need the drugs and alcohol.
That's
you
true,
know,
yeah.
Get
Right.
good
Find something
relationships.
you're really happy
yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it? That's all
That's
meaning
it.
of life right
Yeah,
there. We
that's
got
it.
it. Wrapped it
we
up.
saw.
Yeah.
We got to get the punchline though, and I really like the.
Well, that's something different.
Oh,
The punchline,
oh, all right.
Oh, the punchline. Oh,
Yeah.
the punchline.
Well,
I think we're good.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
you know about his punchline?
the star,
Oh, the
We're
Starbucks.
gonna
Yeah,
wrap
yeah.
it up with shoot
Yeah.
for the stars. I
Shoot
like
for the
that.
stars. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Buy cheap gas.
Yeah.
Change your oil.
Yeah.
Or add oil if you have.
Or add oil. If you have a smoker.
Yeah.
Add oil.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Cool.
sure.
Did you ever